Hey YouTube, welcome to Midnight Modeling, where tonight we will be opening up Kitty Hawk's 148 scale AH1Z Viper Chopper. Let's get inside this box. Okay, got a little box, clear plastic parts. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 big trees, plus the one in there. Got your decal set, 2 decals, I believe, some photo etch, and that little ball bearing weight. Let's go inside the instructions. Really nice instructions, have some color art in the front. Open it up, and look what you got here. We have a paint scheme for the chopper, decal placement, and here it shows you the sprues. What sprues you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you got your photo etch, 2 decal sheets. As like all aircraft models, well, almost all, you start off with the cockpit, putting the seats together into the cockpit tub, some handles there. Got your instrument panels, put all those together. These ones take decals, so you can either decal them or you can paint them. It's entirely up to you. Then you move on to the engines. Put the engines together, and then you put them in to either side of the fuselage. Then step 7, you'll be putting the cockpit together and putting the fuselage together as well. When you reach number 9, that's when you put the main cannon together. Before that's where you're going to put that little ball bearing weight. Is to keep the tail from dragging on your table or your display. Then you put your optics together. You move on. Those all go to the fuselage. And then you're ready to flip it around. Put your canopy. Put your engine covers, skids. Then you start off with the little winglets, putting those together, putting the ends on. That you later on put some missiles on. You can get your engine cover. Then that's when you put it all together. Put the rest of the glass in, the wings, smaller parts. Put your engine cover. Then you start on the main rotor. Number 17, where you start with the main rotor, put the blades on. Move over to 18. And that's when you put the tail section together. And then on number 19, you put in your tail rotor. Tail rotor comes in 2 pieces. Usually they come in 1 piece, but this one, it comes in 2 pieces for a little more detail. After you move on to that, number 20, you're going to be putting your main rotor together, actually attaching it to the top of the helicopter and putting the tail section in. Some other smaller parts there. We'll get to those later. Then you go on to number 22, put your AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles together. The rocket pods, 70 millimeter, I believe, rocket pods. And you move down to these Hellfire missiles. And right here it shows you the different ways you can put the weapons. Got your AIM-9s at the end there. Got the LAU-68 rocket pods, the 7mm HAP rocket pods, or the Hellfire missiles. And then here you got 2 different ways to paint it up. This is the gray one. It's a little easier, so this is the one I'm going to be doing. And then you also have this one here, which is also pretty cool. But I'm more into the subdued look of the chopper. Okay, let's take a look at the trees and whatnot. Okay, here's the first one. Here it has the 2 sides of the fuselage. Pretty good detail. It's going to be good for some weathering that I'm going to put on there. Got your skids. Got the cockpit tub. Instrument panel. Other parts like that. This next tree. And this one you have your little winglets some parts of your engine, other small parts for the tail end of the helicopter. Pretty good together. Pretty good, you know. I'm sure there's going to have to be some putty work done and some sanding, but you know, it's all part of building these kits. And in this bag, we have two of them actually. Well, it's actually one that they fold over. But on this side here, you have the blades for your main rotor. For your tail rotor, you got, and then you have the weapons. There's your AIM-9s, rocket pods, and your Hellfire missiles. There's the front of the rocket pods there. And I like this. What Kitty Hawk does, they put all their clear plastic parts in this box to protect them from scratching when they, you know, moving around and whatnot. So pretty good clear parts. Pretty good clear parts for the canopy and other little. It's going to be pretty fun to do that. In this bag here, we have the decal sheet, some photo etch, and that little ball bearing that you put in as a counterweight. So here's the decals. You have two of them for the two different. This is ones I'm going to be using here. Got some nice photo etch. I like that a lot of models kits are now coming with photo etch. Back in the day when we used to build them, there was, you know, this was unheard of. And there it is, that little ball bearing counterweight. So there you go, folks. Kitty Hawk's 1/48 scale AH-1Z Viper chopper. Y'all have a good night.